Ball Xenoverse news. I say it like that because it's kind of rare that we're getting news for this game lately. But let's just talk about it. New Conton City. That sounds way cooler than what this actually seems to be, but let's dive right into this. So we're gonna read this article and I'm gonna kind of break this down. I already read through and skimmed through it once, and there's actually some pretty interesting information in here, and I'm confused as to why it's just for PS4. Maybe they're testing it with PS4 and then they'll do Xbox and PC and stuff later, but let's read. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 PS4 moves to a new server. This is a call for all time patrollers in activity in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. Conton City is going to switch to a new dimension server on the 20th of March. All you need to know about this migration is available below. Why is it moving to a new server? The Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 PS4 server is managing thousands of data from time patrollers, missions, and fights across time and space. We need to move it to migrate to a new server to get more space and to keep up its performances. So essentially, maybe performance will be better. I guess we'll see. But there's a lot more interesting stuff in here. Let's keep going. What should I do to move to the new server? You will just have to select New Conton City when logging into online servers after the 20th of March. To prepare the migration and minimize the impact of data loss, we suggest you keep a copy of your favorite list of players to be able to keep in touch with them. Again, on the new server, we also suggest you pay a visit to the time service. That's the time-space delivery thing where you get rewards to collect all the presents you may have not collected yet. What will happen with the current server? Will it be closed? The current server will remain available. However, keep in mind that no more updates or online events will be deployed on this server. So it's going to be pretty much a dead world. Like there's not going to be anything new. From the 20th of March, you will be given the choice to select Original Conton City or New Conton City. You can choose to move from Original Conton City to New Conton City anytime. Crystal Raid, online matching, parallel quests, and expert missions will remain available in Original Conton City. It will also be in New Conton City, but it's just saying, like, if you do want to stay on the original one for some reason, it'll be there for you too. As of today, there's no date announced for the termination of Original Conton City. What am I going to lose when I will switch to the new server? Now, this is where things get really interesting and where I'm personally excited, but at the same time a little bit like, oh man, this is what I'm talking. The following information will be lost during the migration. This is what you're gonna lose when you go to the new Conton City. So unlimited rank match point. Y'all know what that means? I think what this means, okay, and this is speculation, correct me if I'm wrong, but unlimited rank match point, that's like your BP, right? So like when you're doing with limitations ranked matches, all the BP that you've ever accrued is going to be reset. And I think that goes for everybody. And I think what they're doing here, this is to combat all the people who cheated their way up the rank system, because now ranked match is different, right? So now whenever you get into ranked match, you can't kick out an opponent, which has its pros and cons, but essentially that is what stops boosting. Because what boosters do, for those who don't know, a brief little description, is they would get into a ranked lobby and then they would wait for a specified account to join them, and they would kick out everybody else in the meantime until that specified account joins. That account would let them win, they get free rank points, they would repeat that process all day. But now you can't kick people out, so boosting is pretty much dead, at least I think. So with that said, if they're resetting the unlimited rank match point, that means everybody kind of has a shot at number 1 again, you know what I mean? Or like getting into the top 10, which is awesome because now we won't have to look at that stupid Miyuki hologram in the middle of Conton City for number 1 time patroller when it was all boosting. That's pretty hype if it is what I think it is. Results of the Tenkaichi tournament. Online event ranking. Presence remaining in the time service. Online titles, that's also huge. I'll come back to that. Favorite list history, players met history, whatever. That's not as important. But online titles, y'all know what that means? All those tournaments that they've had throughout the entire lifespan of Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 that have been plagued by boosters, where a booster just easily grabbed the title, you know what I mean? Like that cool little logo next to your name that was just all false, like it wasn't even real, like they didn't deserve that. What I think this means is, since those online titles have been revoked, whenever they run tournaments in the future in this quote-unquote new Conton City, now it'll all be legit. Because again, the tournaments work the same way as ranked. How I explained how boosting works in ranked, people are doing the same thing in tournaments, getting the titles away from people who are rightfully deserving of them, and now it looks like players will have a chance to get it. How are you going to compensate for the loss of data? This part's funny. We will be giving out 500 TP medals, to users who log into New Conton City between the 20th of March and the 20th of April, so you have a month. We will also bring back events that will reward users with online titles for a chance to collect back the ones they may have lost from the migration. This is also a chance for new players to participate in these events if they never had a chance. Online event details will be communicated later on. So yes, exactly what I said. Basically, players who didn't get the title last time, or players who did get the title, can either rightfully prove that they deserve that title in the tournaments, or up-and-coming chaps who got cucked by the boosters in the past can take the title that they feel they deserve. That's hype to me. So it's almost like Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 is starting over in a way. Like it's kind of crazy if you think about it. And then I have no idea what this is going to do for performance, like how much better gameplay is going to be in terms of netcode and stuff. But it did mention performance earlier, so I guess we'll have to wait and see. And then for those strange human beings who just play offline, I'll read this for you. I play Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 offline. Do I need to migrate to the new server? No, you don't. When you'll choose to play offline after the 20th of March, you won't be given the choice between original Conton City and new Conton City. So that's actually pretty massive news in my personal opinion. I guess it depends on who you are. Like if you don't even play, you know, online, like again, like there's some people who literally exist out there who just like to play offline, or maybe they just like to make mods. But for those, the majority who do like to play online, I think this is really big news, because at least if you had if you felt some type of way about how the leaderboards were set up, where it wasn't even legit, like, you know, being top 100 in the world doesn't really mean anything in Xenoverse, just because like that first huge chunk of people were all boosters, right? But now it looks like everybody's gonna get a shot. Yes, there's still modders out there. I wish there was like something about that. I think that's pretty huge. I'm just confused as to why it's just PS4 for now. Like that doesn't mean Xbox won't happen in the future. It doesn't mean PC won't happen in the future. I think it's almost like a test thing. Like they're gonna do one console at a time instead of just going crazy with all the consoles. But I think it's some pretty huge news. So now tournaments, I'll actually probably be excited for, because I'll feel I have a fighting chance against like anybody, because, you know, as long as there's no boosters, I feel like I like my odds, you know what I mean? Not to say I'll get #1, but I can get top 10 for sure. And then ranked, like being the best player in the whole world, like being #1 in the whole world will actually mean something, because ranked has, even though again there's pros and cons to not being able to kick people out, you know, you get a 1 bar, it's BS, whatever, but at least they stopped boosters, which was one of the biggest issues. So that should be exciting as well. I'm curious if they're just gonna start like the very first tournament that they ever did in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. I'm curious if they're gonna start with that and then just progress in the same order that they did tournaments, you know, in the original lifeline of Xenoverse 2. If they're gonna do that with this new Conton City thing, but I don't know. But those are my thoughts on this news. I thought it was relevant enough to make a video on. I thought I'd let you guys know, especially for those who do play on PS4. Again, Xbox, maybe it'll come out soon, I don't know. But if not, well, get a PS4, you'll do yourself a favor anyway. Let me know what your thoughts on the news is in the comment section below. Make sure to hit the like button. I'm just glad that anything Xenoverse 2 is happening, because as much hate as the game gets, still love the game, still enjoy the game, still to me is fighters. People relax. Fighters is a better fighting game. It will always be a better fighting game. But I find Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 to be the best Dragon Ball purist game in existence. Like it captures the essence better than any other Dragon Ball game, like the balance of the essence of Dragon Ball and then the competitiveness of you. That's just my opinion. Relax. All right. Anyways, I'm gonna leave now. Words. Like button. My name's Deion. I'm gonna SeeReax on you.